Make sure we are on social media and we will get started on this episode. And yes, we are. We are on Facebook, we are on Twitter, we are on YouTube. All right, let's get this episode on the road. Welcome back, guys, to episode 124 of Titos&Chicken, your unofficial South Carolina Gamecocks podcast, coming at you with a low country state of mind. Miss Bloomdahl, how you doing over there, girl?
Hey, I'm good. Just hanging out, getting through the week, ready for
Yeah.
another round of football Saturday. So,
Yeah. You can somewhat feel it in the air a little bit.
yeah.
It's trying to cool down. I'm not
hmm
saying it's cool yet, guys,
No.
but it's trying to cool down, you know.
Yeah.
So very excited about that. It's that Georgia game. We were out in your backyard. I thought
hmm
it felt amazing. I mean, thank
Yeah.
God for the 10 I brought, or we probably would have got roasted. But
Yeah.
no, it felt besides that, when it got around 7, 8 o'clock,
Oh, yeah.
it was perfect.
Yeah. It was
And
so much
those are the evenings that I'm excited for and I cannot wait for,
fun. Oh,
you
yeah.
know. So but we're getting there. We're getting there. So
Yes.
guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, rate. Help us continue to get this podcast out there. We would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Jumping into the episode here, we're going to start with a few quick hits. Tennessee South Carolina kickoff announced at 7:30 in Neyland. Wasn't too fond of that. Lindsay, what were your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think we were all hoping for an early game, especially going into Neyland. But of course, I feel like because the way we've been playing, especially against Georgia, and that exciting game that they have, kind of exciting game, I guess, where they got beat by Florida. I feel like
Yeah.
ESPN and people want that matchup at night. I mean, I feel like we have two strong fan bases, and so they want to put us at the prime time slot. So I guess it's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
I was 100% hoping that was going to be a noon kickoff.
yeah.
But it is what it is.
Yeah.
Two passionate, extremely passionate fan bases, two solid ball clubs going at it. I mean, it is what it is. So
Yeah.
hopefully we're ready to go. But first of all, we got to beat Mississippi State first.
Correct.
But moving on to our next quick hit here, Juice Wells. His situation doesn't look good. He's not going to be out for the whole season,
Mm-hmm.
but he's going to be out for majority of the season. Lindsay, this one hurts.
Yeah. Definitely unfortunate. I mean, I remember obviously at my house this weekend, we were watching incredible throw and catch. I mean, touchdown. Just he looked back to himself. I mean, he really did.
Yeah.
I was like, we were jumping up and down, going crazy. And then next thing we know, we turn around and look, and he's like limping on the sidelines. It was crazy. How that flipped. It's just real unfortunate for him. A setback that nobody wanted to see happen. But like you said, hopefully the comeback's better than the come up. So we can only hope maybe he can come back for the last couple games. But it sucks, especially when we're hitting SEC play and our best player, one of them, is going to be sidelined. So hate to see it.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a story of our sports teams.
No, I know.
Losing a key player. And,
Every year.
it's so annoying. It literally drives me crazy. When you think we're going to start hitting on all cylinders, we got everybody healthy, something happens.
Yeah. It just
And
takes
it's just
the
a huge
wind.
setback.
Yeah, takes the wind out of your sails. And it does for them too. I mean, because they all wanted to see his return. And obviously, Spencer wants him out there. And so it just sucks. Yeah, it's just like a shitty feeling, honestly, for him and just for the whole team. Because what a leader he is, and just obviously what a skill set he has, and what he can bring to the table. So just all around unfortunate.
Unfortunate. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, moving on to some good news here. Big tree here. Freshman offensive lineman of the week or freshman of the week?
I think it was freshman of the week.
Yeah, I think it was freshman of the week as well.
Yeah.
Solid performance by Mr. Babalade there.
Yeah.
We had to start him. we had no choice,
Yeah.
So but I'm glad, to see that he made such an immediate impact.
Oh, yeah.
against the number one team in the nation.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know,
And the defense
um,
of Georgia is no joke. So,
no,
yes.
not at all. And TJ Sanders, defensive lineman of the
Oh
week.
my God.
It's nice to see the trenches get some recognition there.
Yeah, it's huge.
A part of the team, we were just like, oh shit, like, are we going to be able to block these guys? Are we going to be able to do this, do that? But no, they did their thing last weekend. And I'm just extremely proud of the team in general.
Yeah.
What was it? A 10-point loss. Vegas had us losing by 27,
Yeah.
something 27 and a half, can't remember.
Yeah.
Um, to go into Athens and, do what they did, especially in the first
Oh my
half.
God. Yeah.
Um, we were on the edge of our seats there for a little while.
Yeah.
But gotta be proud of those guys. Gotta be proud of those guys. And I'm glad Big Tree and TJ Sanders got some recognition there.
Mhm.
Um Josiah Thompson, what was that? 2024 offensive lineman commit?
Yeah.
Bumped up to a 5-star, guys. So now we have one or two 5-stars. I think we got one 5-star offensive lineman,
Yeah.
unless Cam Pringle is in 5-star as well.
Yeah. I don't know if Cam Pringle is yet. I think he's
Okay,
I
I'm
don't
gonna
know.
look into that.
Yeah.
But if we're able to get Jordan Seaton here out of Washington, 5-star offensive lineman,
Yeah.
that would be, oh my God, that would be huge. You know, like I know we
Huge.
talked earlier in the
Yeah.
previous episodes, offensive line and their struggles, but help is coming, guys. Help is
Yeah.
coming. So gotta just wait, wait it, just try to wait, be patient. We are going to be having some help here soon. Um, let's talk a little bit about the UGA game. We talked about it a little bit earlier, but like I said, you got to be proud of those guys what they did to go in Athens in the rain and only lose by 10 points.
Yeah.
I felt like they gave it their all. Spencer looked like Spencer.
Yeah.
Um, the running game, though, Lindsay, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead. What you got on that?
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's a major issue for us as far as our offense goes. I think the offensive game plan was good. I mean, in the fact that we came out swinging, right? We came out, hit him in the mouth, scored first, like all of these things. Spencer firing on all cylinders, of course, like obviously. I think receivers showed up in a big way, but I think what was the problem, and come second half, and I don't know what happened to the game plan. I think we played really conservatively,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But also, you can't beat a number one Georgia team if you have no rushing attack. If you have no presence back there, no consistency, and I think it showed. I mean, because eventually they just had to sell out on the pass attack and covered everybody up, and then
and they defended that.
yeah, exactly. And so Spencer, threw into some situations that weren't great. He picked up those 2 picks late, which sucked. But yeah, I think that's the issue. I mean, we can't go into SEC play. I mean, if that's the film we're rolling out to everybody, that our rushing attack is non-existent.
Non-existent.
It becomes
Good word.
incredibly easy to defend, right? We all know that. We don't have to be geniuses or big time analysts to realize that. So really, really unfortunate. And also I'm just like frustrated that Mario Anderson, didn't get more opportunity. I think he's the one, a true back. I don't care that he came from Division II. I think, how he played the couple carries he had against UJ, he was dragging those defenders down the field. I mean, so it's kind of interesting for me why he didn't get more carries, but hopefully.
My thing is, I read something about that yesterday, Lindsay, about Mario.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why you're seeing Dak more in there at the running back position is because he's the best at pass
block.
pro.
Yeah.
Yeah, pass block. Yeah. The other guys have been struggling with that. So that's why you're seeing Dak getting those starts and getting more of the touches in a sense. But what? He had 5 carries last game, I think it was.
It's something.
I mean, it's just but it's just like and this is going to Dak. I'm going to talk about him. I had a controversial tweet a few days ago. I wouldn't say it was controversial. A lot of people agreed with me.
Mm-hmm.
They really did. I strongly believe that this experiment with him in the running back position should end.
Yeah.
And I think we should let Mario be our lead guy.
Yeah.
I really do think that.
Yeah. I agree.
So, but yeah, I just I watch him run. Watch Dak run. He's bulked. I think he's, and we've talked about this. Is that Dak has gotten to, I think, 235,
Mhm.
230, 235 pounds. He is big
Yeah.
now. He's not that slim, slender guy he was 2 years ago, 3 years ago when he got to Columbia.
Right.
So I feel like he's seeing these reads, he's taking these handoffs, and he's not as agile,
Right.
shifty. He's just going straight downhill.
Yeah. I
And
think that comes from
yeah, go ahead.
no, and I agree. I think that comes from being out of position, right? Like he wasn't built to
True,
be,
exactly.
yeah, a running back. And so I totally agree with you. And I feel like he has an incredible skill set that could be utilized with him in the backfield. I mean, he could throw out of the running back position. I mean, he could take direct snaps. He could get a little bit creative. You could line him up in the slot. Like, I don't know. I just feel like you could use him a little bit differently because I think he can be an X factor in game time situations. I mean, he's proven that about himself. But yeah, it just seems as though he's like one step off a little. I don't know. It
Yeah.
just seems like he's uncomfortable, or I don't know. And maybe we're wrong. Maybe we're reading it wrong, but I don't think so. Yeah, I just feel as though
No.
it's a little
Yeah.
bit clear he is out of position in ways that don't do anybody any justice or doesn't do anybody.
Yeah. But obviously, you love the kid. You love everything he's done for this program. God,
Yeah,
I cannot stress that enough. He is one of my favorite players
yeah,
on that football team. But he's not a running back, guys.
hmm,
I just don't see it.
yeah,
I don't. I mean, he's only played 3 games, but at the same time, I mean, you're getting what? What's the most carries he's had in a game?
yeah,
10, maybe? I don't know, 10 to 15. We're depending on Spencer so much,
yeah,
and we can't keep doing that.
yeah,
We're gonna get the poor kid killed at
yeah.
some point.
That and it's just going to become too obvious, and it's just he
Yeah,
can only do so much. He's not a magician
exactly.
back there. I mean, I just think yeah, it's just going to become easier and easier to defend, and that's the real issue
Yeah,
here.
exactly. So, okay, all right, guys. Now let's get into this Mississippi State South Carolina breakdown here. South Carolina is 6-point favorite at home. What do you think about that, Lindsay?
That's interesting to me. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, we're 1 and 2 and going in as favorites. I like that. I mean, I
yeah,
think what our passing offense has shown and the numbers that it's put up, maybe that's, a factor there. Obviously, I think the
yeah,
environment, playing at home, maybe that's playing into the point spread. But
yeah,
yeah, and I don't know. I mean, I think Mississippi State has issues that we'll talk about, but I don't know.
yeah,
6 points is a lot. I didn't expect it to be that much. I thought it was gonna be like 2 or
yeah.
3, honestly. So that was surprising to me.
Well, I think they're going off their LSU's route of
True,
Mississippi State last weekend,
true.
which we're going to get into here too. Mississippi State 2-1, 0-1 in the SEC. LSU just absolutely just that was ugly.
Yeah, I just picked them
That
apart.
game was ugly, and that was at state.
Yeah, the
Mississippi
cowbells were
State.
not working, apparently.
No, no, it was bad.
Yeah,
It was rough watching that game.
yeah,
Um, I was just going over their stats. It's early in the season. You can't really judge a team or individuals off their stats. But I'll be honest with you, Will Rogers, man. Like we did our preview, what, I don't know, a month ago
yeah,
of all these teams. And the one thing we said we were going to be afraid of is Will Rogers.
mhm,
He has not looked like Will Rogers. And I think a huge reason is because the different offensive philosophy that they're using now.
yeah,
They're not running that air raid anymore.
mm-mm,
They're way more of a balanced team. He doesn't have one game. Well, they played 3 games. He doesn't have one game over 30 passing attempts, Lindsay.
yeah, it's wild.
He had 13 games last season where he went over 30. And I'm talking about into the high 40s.
Yeah,
So you're taking the ball out of one of your best players' hands.
yeah,
I'm fine with it. I don't want to see him slinging around the field all game
Yeah.
because he's capable of doing it. But what do you think about them switching philosophies like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's an interesting tactic for sure. Obviously, we know
Yeah,
what happened with Mike Leach and how horrible that was. And,
of course. Yeah,
new head coach who's been in the program, and
yeah.
that's going to come with
So
growth.
you think he would have maybe adopted that,
Yeah, exactly. That's
continue to keep running that? But I don't know. I
Yeah,
guess
no, I agree. I mean,
it is what it is.
yeah, and you recruit players, and so that team is based around players that were recruited to play in an air raid schemed offense, and
Yeah,
then you turn around and change it. I mean, of course, there's going to be growing pains that come with that. I mean, if you're going to put
yeah,
Will Rogers in a situation that is uncomfortable for him or different than what he's used to, I mean, we're seeing it
yeah,
play out, in front of us. I feel like they don't look very gelled. I feel like their offensive line isn't protecting him. I feel like Will Rogers
yeah,
is thrown off, or that's how he played against LSU. They were always in the backfield, I feel like. So, yeah, it doesn't seem like a typical Mississippi State team that we're used to, especially offensively. So,
yeah,
which is
yeah. No,
sounds good to us.
they
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, no, of
But
course. Offensively, last week they looked
yeah,
awful. Yeah, they played LSU. I get it, but you expect Rodgers and company to do a lot more than what they did.
yeah, thought it was gonna be a little bit
I
closer.
think that. Yeah, I think that score was 44-14.
Hmm.
It was never a game.
No.
It really wasn't.
No, I don't think they scored those touchdowns until late. I think it was like they were shut out for a while, if I remember correctly. Like,
Yeah, because LSU probably put in their second and third string by that point.
yeah.
You're just like, all right, guys, go ahead and get some reps in, you
Yeah.
know. But it is what it is. But it's just they're more balanced now offensively.
Yeah.
Their running back, he's had two solid games, over 100 yards rushing.
Mhm.
One they did play Walkmore High School,
Mhm.
and the other they played Arizona.
Yeah, and barely beat
So
Arizona. Beat them in overtime.
barely, yeah, in double
Yeah.
overtime. Yeah. So I don't know, man. This team, I'm not gonna say it scared me in the beginning of the season, but I was just like, hey, like these guys are gonna be solid.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna be pushing it around the field and everything.
Yeah, and I think too,
Well, go ahead.
we don't play them often, so it's like I think that
Yeah,
always is kind of a factor that plays into, the unknown of Mississippi State as
yeah,
far as we don't match up with them every year, like we do other
yeah,
teams. But yeah, and I think how LSU played, I feel like Daniels and Rattler are very similar. I mean, they put up big numbers, especially passing. I feel like our offense
yeah,
matches up with an LSU offense in the sense of Malik Neighbors went off like against that defense, like literally
yeah,
like had
yeah,
over 250 receiving yards. That's insane.
yeah,
And
yeah.
so it's
Wow.
like that, I feel like too is a good matchup for us because I feel like that's how, as of yet, we've run our offense. I mean, we're
Yeah,
slinging it all over. I mean, Xavier Leggett could have a field day, against this defense
yeah,
if, it plays into our uh, play calling like it should. And I
yeah.
just feel like,
No, for sure.
yeah, that doesn't seem very intimidating for us. So I think that's also positive too. It could work in our favor as far as how
Yeah,
LSU played and how we have looked this far this season. Good
yeah.
matchup.
I would 100% say Mississippi State's offense is a little more balanced than ours. That's somewhat
Mhm.
obvious. You can tell that from our running game
Yeah.
as of right now. Um, I see. I was gonna say this was gonna be a close one,
Mhm.
but something tells me we're gonna be able to separate from these guys.
Same.
They're decent. They got 6 sacks already in 3 games and
Mhm.
4 interceptions. They're gonna be your traditional SEC defense. They're gonna come ready to play. They're gonna have big bodies out there. They're gonna have athletes. But I something just tells me this game. I'm not saying it can get ugly. I'm definitely not saying that, but I definitely see more of a. I can see us winning by 10 points or more,
Oh, yeah.
and
Oh, yeah.
100%. And in an SEC game, that's amazing, because usually a lot of the games are close,
Mhm.
unless you're Ole Miss or somebody like that, and you're just lighting up the scoreboard,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So, but yeah, defensively, I think they're solid. But I just feel like we're gonna have a solid game plan, and we're gonna come in there ready to go.
Yeah.
You know, just got to protect Spencer,
Yeah.
obviously. So,
Mhm.
anything else? You got anything on Mississippi State that I may have missed? No?
No.
Okay, so what are your keys to the game here?
Yeah. So my keys to the game. Mine is the first one is just play to win and play to win big.
Yeah,
I just feel
yeah.
like looking back at the Georgia game, we came out and I thought we had a great first half. Obviously, what was it, 14-3
Yeah.
at half? I mean,
14-3 at half,
against the
yeah.
number one team, like I think that was
Mhm.
incredible for the confidence levels, for us who start slow. Generally
Yeah,
it takes us
that's
a
true.
while. And for us to come out like that, I mean, opening drive was just a thing of beauty. And I feel like that's huge.
Mhm.
That goes a long way in confidence for the team.
Yeah,
And then whatever second half, I just feel like we got super soft and conservative and, played not to lose when we had
yeah,
such an opportunity to really just go for it. But so that would be what I would say. Like, don't let off the gas. I mean, if we can have a start like we did against Georgia, don't let up. Like, keep attacking,
yeah,
keep the same game plan going in, like stay hungry. Because I feel like setting the tone, especially in the SEC, beating Mississippi State at home, we have
yeah,
Mizzou looming, we have Florida, we have Tennessee. Like we have got to, make a statement now, and then
yeah.
keep
We
that.
need a statement win for sure.
Yeah, I feel like this could be one. I really do. So that's huge for me. Just like coming out and competing and really just take
Yeah,
it to them. Like, why not? Like,
yeah.
what is there to lose? So that's it. And then I think the defensive line. Shout out to them. I thought they played really well against
Mhm.
Georgia, considering we talked about Sanders and others. So I think we need to continue that pressure up front. I feel like there's a weakness in the O line of Mississippi State that we could exploit with Will
Okay.
Rogers. We know that he has legs too. I mean, he can run the ball when he needs to. So I know
Y
we got to take that into account. But I think we need to play aggressive on the defensive end too. And
yes.
just don't let them extend drives. Pretty basic football, right? Get off the field on
Yeah,
third down.
yeah,
Don't let them hang around. Don't let Will Rogers scramble to get, a 3rd and 8 or something. Just play clean
yeah.
and executed football on the defensive side. And I think we could run away
Okay.
with it, really, if we do those
Yeah,
things.
okay. My thing, you were talking about Georgia game, how we were up 14-3 at half. It's like we had our foot on their throats
Hmm.
in that first half, and we were like, "Oh, we feel bad.
Yeah,
Okay, we'll let our foot up." And then Georgia's like, "Oh, you let your foot up? Okay,
here we
watch
go.
this."
Yeah.
And they just went all out. But
Mhm.
anyways, yes, I agree with you on your keys to the game. One of my major ones is keep Will Rogers under 30 passing attempts because
Yeah.
I feel like once he gets over that, he's in his happy zone. He's feeling himself. He's slinging it around. That's what we don't want.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in a shootout
Mm.
with them, to be honest, because that's their type of. I mean, it hasn't been yet this year, but we know they're capable
Right.
of him having 50 pass attempts,
Yeah.
45 to 50 pass attempts. So keep those down. Obviously, we cannot be one dimensional. We can't. We cannot rely on Spencer Rattler to win this game. Yes, it's nice to have him. God, not even a question. But someone at the running back position has got to step up.
Yeah.
And I feel like Mario has been showing flashes, not even a question. But we got to get some rushes. We can't be rushing for 25 yards and 30 yards a game. That's pathetic.
Yeah.
Like that really is. So got to get the running game going, obviously. Your biggest question for this matchup.
Yeah. So to go off of exactly what you just said, my biggest question is, are we going to be able to find a run game? um,
Yeah.
one that is consistent, like we spoke about, one where
Yeah.
we're getting production from this position. We haven't seen it all year thus far, really. We can say that honestly. And it was a struggle last year, too. I mean, so it's
Yeah.
something that has to be corrected. And I think will have to be corrected long term in recruiting and coaching and some more serious topics that we'll discuss when
Yeah.
the time comes. But for now, yeah, I think that's my biggest question. I mean, every Gamecock fan is asking the same thing. When are we going to have a successful rush attack that includes
Yeah.
Dak or doesn't and includes somebody new, includes Mario Anderson, Braswell, Juju, anyone. I mean,
Yeah.
what are we gonna do?
Juju. I haven't said his name
I
all
know, I
podcast. I mean,
know.
it'll be nice to see him.
Yeah.
I I can see why he didn't play really last weekend. I
Mm.
mean, I felt like one of those Georgia defensive linemen would have picked him up and just slung him
Like,
across the field.
smooshed him. Yeah,
Yeah, like literally, like who's this little kid running
I
the
know.
ball? Like
Or he
literally.
could have,
So
like, snuck through,
smart,
like, run under him or something, but
yeah.
yeah.
So smart call Beamer on not letting him play that, or not,
Yeah.
excuse me, not letting him play, but getting a lot of touches.
Right. Yeah, but
But
that's my biggest question essentially is like we've spoken
yeah,
about the running back position and what we're going to do, how we're going to game
yeah,
plan for that because like we've said over and over, it's a huge glaring issue for us that
yeah,
will
not even a question.
really be a thorn in our side if we do not get it corrected now. It's going to make us lose games in the long run. I really believe that.
This 100% Lindsay is a measuring stick game
Hmm.
for us. We win this game, I think we have a decent season. We lose this game, I think we win 4 or 5 games.
Yeah.
I strongly feel that.
Yeah, that's fair.
And you don't want to hear it, but I that's just how I feel
Yeah.
about this game. This game is so big, and the stage is so big for this game.
Hmm.
We gotta come out there firing on all cylinders, 100%.
Yeah.
My biggest question here is defensive line. Can you guys play 2 full quarters?
Yeah.
You know, um, 2 full halves. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Um, you did against Georgia.
Yeah.
You pitched a nearly a shutout,
Yeah.
literally. But then you got tired. I mean, I understand. I get that. I totally get that. But yeah, we can't continue doing that, And I don't know if that's on conditioning. I don't know if we were just being conservative, which I think we were being very
Yeah. We're
conservative
playing
there
not to lose.
in the second half.
Yeah.
Yeah, playing not to lose.
Yeah. I
But
agree.
what bothers me is, we if we were up 21 points, then yeah, I understand that.
Right.
You're winning by 10 damn points. Why are we
Yeah.
playing conservative?
Against Georgia,
Like,
really? Yeah.
against the number one team. But okay,
Yeah,
let me get
yeah.
off the Georgia
Yeah,
talk.
let it go. Let
But
it go.
yeah, seriously. But just play 2 full halves, guys.
Yeah.
We're gonna win this game if y'all can do that. Because you know what Spencer's gonna do.
Yeah.
You know what Legatte's gonna do. They're gonna ball out. They're gonna put points on the scoreboard.
Mhm.
And can we hold marks? Their running back is decent. I'm going to be honest with you. He's had two 100-yard games. In the LSU game, he had 80 yards.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's not a bad back at all.
Yeah.
Just kind of contain him, like LSU did last week.
Yeah, our rush defense
And
hasn't been great either, so that's a great point,
well, we're in last in the SEC in a lot of those defensive statistics.
Yeah.
But hey, we got to win this game. I don't give a hell where we are. We have to win this game.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Those numbers
this
don't
is
matter, just win the game, okay?
yeah, this is a huge game for this program. What is your score for this matchup?
Yeah, so listen. I don't know. I feel like my score
Oh God.
No, I don't know. I feel like this is going to be
Yeah.
crazy, but I don't care.
Okay.
Listen, I think we're gonna win, and I think we're gonna win big. And I don't know why. I just feel like we have the tools, I think, to beat this team. I mean, I think they're
Yeah.
not, playing their best football right now. So I think
Yeah.
I'm going for it here, and I'm going 35-17 Carolina. We're gonna run
Wow.
away with it. Willie B is gonna be hostile and loud and too
Yeah.
much to overcome.
That's a bold statement there,
So,
Miles Bloomdahl. I like
please,
that
God,
score,
make it
35-17.
make it good,
Okay.
okay?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I am at 42-33.
Okay.
I see points being put on the board by both teams, but like I told you earlier, I think we run away towards the end
Mhm.
because it's a night game. We got the loud ass crowd behind us.
Yeah.
And I just feel it. I feel like we're gonna win this game too. I feel that vibe that you get. And a lot of Gamecock fans do feel we can win this matchup as well.
Yeah.
So big game here, huge game here. Win this one, and then we'll worry about Tennessee and Neyland next weekend.
True.
But guys, again, thank you so much for tuning in. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. We will be back at our normal scheduled time next week, Thursday evening. where we break down South Carolina versus Tennessee.
There we go.
On that note,